Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things we're talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. They'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We
It's
have
time
arrived.
to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First
the
Contact
truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. Hope you had a good weekend. Hanukkah is still underway, so hope you're having a great Hanukkah. Today would be the fifth day of Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah to those who are celebrating, and to everyone else, happy beginning of December. Today is the 2nd of December. We have a new moon. We have our sun sign is in Sagittarius, and our moon sign is making a transition today, going between right here, Scorpio and Sagittarius. This transition takes place. Actually, this transition took place just after midnight, so now we are in the sign of Sagittarius. So our sun sign and moon sign are both Sagittarius, so we have double fire, double truth. Sagittarius is all about truth, bringing that truthfulness to life. The Sagittarian shoots that arrow of truth. So everything about this is truth, 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 and more truth. So it's a good time in the world with this new moon beginning and all this truthful energy around us to see what comes out of it. Alright, nothing in the way that we do have a triangle here going on later between our moon, which is in Sagittarius, and the sign here, which is Uranus, unexpected changes. So something positive today around truthfulness and unexpected changes, higher learning, truthfulness, something of this nature this afternoon about 2:30ish. Alright, let's go over to our current moon. We can see the new moon, 0% full. New moons, new beginnings. The Mayan Oracle, we're at a 7-tone day, which are called the resonant tones of attunement. The kin for today is the Skywalker. We can see the placement here in the wave spell, or the wave spell of the hand, which is all about accomplishment. The guide for today is the Serpent, so today would be the resonant Skywalker, guided by the Serpent. And the supporting cast members are World Bridger, which is like-minded energy today, life and death. The Night, NIGHT, which is all about dreams and abundance. That's our challenge for today. And our hidden power is the star, our ability to shine bright. The phrase for today is I channel in order to explore inspiring wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of life force. Over at Spaceweather, our solar wind is currently at 411.1 kilometers per second. Planetary K-index is a 0, between a 0 and a 1. Our coronal hole, look at this one that's popping up here. A nice, good sized one is opening up. So, of course, we know the drill. Wind heading down our direction. Whether it's going to hit us or not, well, we'll find out when that time arrives. M-class flare possibilities up to 20%. X-class is up to 5%. Geomagnetic storm activity is relatively low in the mid-latitudes. In the higher latitudes, you got about 25-30% chance you're going to have something that's going to go on. Alright. Now we're going to move from there. Let's get our 4-minute news for today. Find out what's going on here.
Good morning, folks. You're watching China's moon probe. Successful liftoff and sequence so far. It's on its way up to map the full surface of the moon on a whole new level. Water decontamination at Fukushima, coming under fire as about a liter of HCl used to neutralize the alkalized water has leaked from the system. Great shots here from NASA's Earth Observatory. We're at the Kamchatka Peninsula for yet another volcano active in the thin eastern sliver of Russia. Super-Earths, ever better understood and now ever more easily found. It goes double for potentially habitable ones. Giant red stars have cooler surfaces but expel light over bigger areas. Super-Earths would need to be closer to those stars to be considered habitable. That also makes them potentially more visible for passes in front of the star. Ergo, we'll find more potentially habitable super-Earths around those stars much faster than expected. Coming down to Antarctica, a helicopter crash is seeing some very lucky folks. It was a dual chopper flight and the other one's down aiding the injured, while assistance makes the long trek to save them all. Slightly north of that, we've set our eyes here more than I'd ever expect to the last 30 days, and it's just happened again. Another severe hailstorm in the southern part of Africa. Torrential rainfall continuing in certain parts of the Amazon as well. Not that these folks aren't used to it. Solar flaring? Need I even say it? We've got nothing but some underperforming sunspots facing Earth. At least now we don't have silent delta spots. The umbras are magnetically separated, so it's just the size that's surprising us. We'll also keep an eye on the incomer down south. Let's look at 3 days of solar wind showing weakening metrics and instability. Nice, smooth, calm, regaining on the sensitive meters. We are awaiting a tiny CME today, and another was just sent on its way. The CME is not resulting from a big flare, it was a surface and filamentary instability. It's small, and it will likely deliver a glancing blow to Earth's magnetic shield on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, impacting with low to medium density and medium speed, as the fastest particles likely went north. You also know we have the incoming coronal hole that started the quake watch as we saw yesterday, but these require no blocking fields. The umbral and coronal magnetics had been opened to Earth directly from that coronal hole, but it snapped shut yesterday, blocking the majority of force and all the bigger quakes. The field is just starting to reopen again now, and the quakes are slowly coming back, with a well-downgraded West Pacific rumble just a few hours ago. Went up into 6 range on multiple readers. We're also seeing an unusual location uptick signal in the Dominican Republic. For fun, you know I check for quarry blasts sometimes too. The little diamonds, caught one up near the border. If you're not yet a website member, Starwater coupon reactivated now through the end of the year. Takes $20 a year down to $12 or just $1 a month. Just use the code STARWATER when you're signing up. I'll leave you with Mr. Too Tough 2 in the Yelverton lab in Albany, Georgia. We've been recreating a lot of very cool electric experiments, and as you know, we share them from time to time. You may have seen something like this before, but either way, makes for great discussion. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.
Alrighty. Alright, that's what's going on there. So, where do we stand at this point in time? Comet ISON went through, and of course you've heard the stories about Comet ISON. They're saying that Comet ISON fizzled and went away. Didn't go away. Comet ISON is still there. You know what's been discovered? It's been discovered that for a period of an hour to 3 hours, NASA just had one image that was repeating over and over and over again on the loop going up at the SDO. So really wasn't as accurate as people thought. Amateur astronomers, though, didn't get fooled, and they have been watching this thing, and they've seen it continue to move, grow closer. Seems to be more pieces of it. Some of it has broken apart, but it's continuing to move, and people are seeing that the field of the debris seems to be getting bigger. So yes, we are going to be experiencing something coming from ISON. It hasn't left, it hasn't disappeared, but it does have scientists really kind of scratching their head about what's going on. I've even seen some places where they've commented on the movement and the behavior of this as being weird. So scientists are starting to find out. What we do know is that there has been some interaction that definitely took place, an electric reaction between the sun and between ISON, because we can see how the sun was reacted. There's various researchers who have shown that as the ISON moved around the sun, you could see the sun actually spiking out towards it, as it made its journey from the bottom up to the top. Those videos are available online. But anyway, I want to continue moving on. Now that it's December, we've got some more dates ahead to just be aware of. And again, people make predictions all the time. Okay, this isn't about trying to make predictions. This is about showing that dates that others have come up with that we should pay attention to, because there could be some validity to them. There's a lot of qualified people out in the world, a lot of people getting information from extraterrestrial sources, some channeled, some as contactees, some doing meditations, accessing Akashic records, a variety of different ways people are getting information. And it's pointing to the time period that we're in as being very significant. So the next big event coming up we heard about in December, we heard from Dolores Cannon that December we were going to be going fifth dimensional, and her daughter was also talking about it. And we've also heard AlecCollier talking about going on the December 3rd that we would be a fifth dimensional planet. So the third is just right around the corner. Let's listen. This is AlecCollier talking about this. Let's listen to what he has to say. And just kind of keep in mind, dates can be somewhat, subjective. I give a date. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't that time. But AlecCollier's been out there for a long while talking about this. This isn't something brand new. He just pulled out of the hat. It's been some time. I've met Alex. He's a very sincere gentleman, and he's not interested in pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. He just wants to share the truth with what he is being shown. So, all that being said, let's get over to this piece. Here we go.
In their perspective, and that's what it is. It's obvious that there's just not one truth. There's many truths. The one truth is that we all exist. That we know. Okay, that we all have an essence that is undefinable, that is truly eternal. They say that third density, somewhere around the beginning of December, the year, what we know, linear year of 2013, will implode. It will implode. That third density will implode. And look at the auras. Wow, check this out. Now, what does that mean? Okay. I don't know if this is true, but this is what they say. They're convinced that literally what's going to happen is that there's going to be a graduation out of physicality. It means a lot of us are going home, and it means that a lot of others are starting all over, if this is what's going to happen. This last thing, I was told that March 23rd, 1994, that 19 suns pole shifted in our galaxy, and that many are pole shifting all the time. At exactly the same moment that the suns in our galaxy pole shifted, a color and sound frequency started emanating from all the black holes in the known universe. Now, apparently what this sound and color frequency is doing, it is literally creating a holographic density above all others. And on a numerical level, it would be, at our level, it would be considered the 12th. The Andromedans say that there are 11 creational densities in our universe. This is now adding a 12th. And that what it's doing is that it is literally lifting all the dimensions up. 11 is going to 12, 10 to 11, etc. Now they say that all indications are that by December 3rd, in our linear time, of the year 2013, third density as we know it will cease to exist. It is now presently imploding on itself as it is being raised to a higher vibration. And that those of us who stick around and go for the ride will be moving through fourth into fifth density. Right now, it's happening again. For some of us, this is the second time around. Or for all of us, it's the second time around. We have a choice again, whether to evolve or to start all over again. The same thing is happening. Apparently on March 23rd of 1994, 19 suns in our galaxy pole shifted, totally flipped and changed their frequency. Other stars have done it since then. In fact, they have said that our sun would actually be doing it as well between now and 2011. Would also be a pole shift and changing its frequency.
Changing its frequency to what?
Changing its frequency. Becoming lighter, more bright.
Oh, okay.
Now, apparently what happened on March 23rd is simultaneously, as this pole shift occurred, emanating from all the black holes in our universe, a color and sound frequency started emanating. It's the first time anything has ever been recorded coming out of a black hole. Now, the Hubble telescope took a picture of something coming out of the black hole, one black hole in Vega, the system of Vega, doing twice the speed of light, which they thought was impossible, that anything could go twice the speed of light. Well, here's something literally coming out of the black hole. They said it was gas. That's what they contributed to. Anyway, what happened is, it is apparently a 12th density, a new one. Now, according to the Andromedans, our present universe has 11 creational densities in it. These beings here have reached their plateau. This new 12th density is now connecting all the lower densities all the way down to us and is literally pulling them up from the bootstraps. It is literally saying it's time to evolve, and it's pulling everybody up. Those that want to evolve. So the whole process has started all over again. On our third density realm, and we live in a density realm where we have a 72 color spectrum. The color of aquamarine is the new color that's on our band. In other words, we're going to have a 73. For a short period of time, a 73 color spectrum. Before December 3rd, 2013, when we move into fifth density. For those of us who survive, physically the Earth changes, and the vibrational frequencies, by December 3rd, 2013, the entire planet and us are supposed to be in fifth density. Where the color spectrum jumps from 73 to 210 color spectrum. It'll happen just like that.
Do you know how soon it's going to be that this is all going to take place or come down? I know it's happening right now, but is when we're going to evolve? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Is it?
Well, we're evolving all the time.
So we're going to be into the fifth dimension, or density.
According to the Andromedans, December 3rd, 2013 AD, we will be in fifth density. That's graduation day. That's when you get your cap and your gown, your diploma.
And we're physically going to be lighter? Is that it? Or
Our physical bodies will turn into light.
it's not too far off.
Do you ever have an out-of-body experience? Or a dream state? A color dream when you know you're in the dream?
Yes.
And you have your physical body with you? That's what it's going to be like. You'll be able to go anywhere you want just by thought.
Teleport.
All right, very interesting. So there's a little bit more left in this. I'm going to leave it for you. There's about 4 or 5 minutes. But very interesting. We'll see what happens. The third is tomorrow. And, one of the things he did talk about was the sun changing, flipping poles, and this was something he was talking about from 1996. Well, we know that he said 2011. We know that the sun is about to go through its pole change, so he was off a little bit, about 2 years off. So maybe there's something in, I don't know. All I know is that we are going through a shift of our sun, and that is taking place now. Should be completing itself by the end of the year from what science is telling us. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to jump on to UFO news. It's up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. Today I have 5 stories, so let's get over to them. Story number 1 comes to us from Bulgaria. It says, hikers in Bulgaria catch a glimpse of a tall alien in the forest area. Okay, here they are here, and they're looking forward, and this is what they're looking at. Look how tall that dude is. Pretty tall alien right there. Sure, it's just a single photo. And yes, they probably didn't see the alien till later when they were looking at the photos. But I have heard about a few reports of these tall aliens. For instance, in Voronezh, Russia, on September 27th, 1989, several children saw a 9-foot tall alien with a robot escort. Even here in Taiwan, in December 2012, my home, a police officer in a treeless mountain area, saw a tall alien and had photos looking similar to this one. I'm just saying these aliens are real and are out there. That's pretty good size alien. Let's see here. Here's the video, but it's just basically a still shot of them hikers. Group of young hikers insisted they have photographed an extraterrestrial creature in the dense forest near Plovdiv, Bulgaria. The group are hiking in Yondola, a large meadow between the mountains of Rila and Roldon, and they came across the mysterious visitor. One of the hikers managed to snap a picture of the creature before it vanished. A gray alien, perhaps? There is a picture right there. Again, same one you were looking at. You can see it's quite tall. Okay, very interesting. Next, this is a UFO filmed over Texas emitting a red glow. This is from November 28th. The red morphing UFO was captured on video hovering over San Antonio, Texas. I don't see any video here though, unless something happened to make it disappear. So let me do a refresh. Aha! Look at that. There we go. This is an 8-minute video. I'm just going to kind of scan forward here. This is the object in question. It says clearly an unidentified flying object, no weather balloon, aircraft, or satellite. No noise was coming from this at all. Okay, let me move on from there. Next we're going to go to, this is a compilation of sightings took place over the course of the month of November. It's a 2-minute long compilation. There we go. You got something up there. Actually, it's not all compilation in one. There's multiple here. Okay. So this one here, then we've got, this was over North Carolina. I remember seeing this one here. There's up in the sky. Then we had the one that took place over Amsterdam. There's a group of them, if you remember this one. And then over Germany, this is on the 11th, another group of them. Here. Okay, and then this was over the Nevada highway. That was a pretty good capture. So if you scroll down, you see there's a lot of them here. Okay, a lot of them. And I'm going to leave it to you because we've seen majority of these, but it's a nice, good compilation to have them all in one location here. Next, moving on here, this is incredible UFO footage from Montgomery, Alabama. 3 a.m. attempt to get back home from vacation. It started off as one light that was way out there, disappeared, and just lit up about 500 feet from us. Sorry for the stability, but we were scared as hell, and what was weird was the fact that my battery was right at 75% and then died at the end of the video. Alright, there's the object in question over Montgomery, Alabama, and yes, they said they were very nervous and scared at this point in time. Okay, and moving from there, one last piece. Here we have a NASA contractor talking about the airbrushing that is done to photographs. It's a 9-minute video. I'm not going to play the video here, but I'm going to give you a little preview of what this is. It says Donna Hare had a secret clearance while working for a NASA contractor, Philco Ford. She testifies that she was shown a photo of a picture with a distinct UFO. Her colleague explained that it was his job to airbrush such evidence of UFOs out of photographs before they were released to the public. She also heard information from other Johnson Space Center employees that some astronauts had seen extraterrestrial craft, and that when some of them wanted to speak out about this, they were threatened. These are all stories that we have heard about the threats that NASA goes through, and so on and so forth. We know about the conspiracies, so nothing surprises us there. That is our UFO news. I'll be right back with more. Stay tuned.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of them.
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The evidence is overwhelming. Step past your fear, take a look. Illuminati lies keep growing, but they're illusion from your eyes. And wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Alrighty. Continuing on. So I thought that we would start off this section talking about that wonderful thing we all know of as Obamacare. You see, they told us there was a promise that Obamacare website was going to be fixed. They had their team working on it. They were going to fix this website, and it was going to be ready by Sunday, the 1st, or was it the 30th? But then, only the night before when it was supposed to be due, they came out and said they had to close things down and it was going to take a little bit longer. So they didn't meet the first deadline. They went and extended it several hours to the next day. Well, here is a piece, as you can see, about the website crashing during the upgraded test. Oh no, who could have seen this coming? Let's check.
All right, so we know the first thing you have to do when you go to this website, you have to select your state.
Well,
is that working?
And what's funny is I was talking with Matt, and yeah, that seemed to work, right, when you logged on. But then came the roadblock. So tell me about what happened, because we're getting another error message here, and it's supposed to be running smoothly. We're just not seeing that.
Yeah, so we've been trying to get into this site since October 1st, on and off again. I have to say it did work a lot more smoothly this morning. I got through. I picked my state. I put in all my information, and I got through the whole process in about 8 minutes. And then it said my progress or my status was in progress. So I went to refresh it, and I got the error message.
Huh. So the Obamacare website, their team of computer analysts have worked on this site, and they've got it to the point where it doesn't work. Come on now. Look, We knew this was going to happen. It's a joke. There's some videos out online. If you go to YouTube, there's a video of a family at Thanksgiving time. They gathered together, and one of the family members got up, gathered everyone together to speak about Obamacare. Now, I don't know if she was being serious or not. She certainly sounded like she was being serious, but that might have been part of the joke. It was funny to watch the entire family laughing when she said it was time to talk about to make sure everyone signed up. And from the little kids to the adults, to the older folks, they were all laughing. It's a joke. Obama's a joke. Obamacare's a joke. We've heard all of the stories about the bad code, to the code in there that says that you don't have any expectation of privacy, to the understanding that this is about a power grab, have nothing to do with insurance, on and on and on. Anybody at this point who is signing up obviously is not paying attention to all of the stories that are out there. Because why would somebody sign up? How could anybody be aware that there is code within there that's saying you have no expectation of privacy and then go to sign up? Unless you've heard that that code has been removed. All I heard was the woman in charge of this project talk about how the code was there, but there was no any discussion about the code being removed. So as far as we know, it's still there. And since this didn't really make big mainstream news, it didn't seem to be important enough for the mainstream to make sure that you knew that this was going on. Again, it's problematic. Nobody should be signing up for this. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and they're making a joke out of this country. They're making a fool out of the American people who are going to sign up, who are believing that they need to do this. It's a joke. All a big joke being played on the American people. You know, another joke that's kind of funny, and I haven't looked into all the details of it, but there's a story going on that Michelle Obama used to be a man. Yeah, look that one up. It's a recent story that she used to be a man. I guess her name was Michael or something. Has a whole story about her. Now, is there a reality to that? I don't know. But story and the rumor has been out there for a while, and now there's this latest stuff. And it's just, this is the administration that keeps giving. That keeps giving and giving. It gives us crap, but it gives us a lot of strange stories also. And it's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Okay, so now remember the incident that happened at the White House where the woman rammed, well, she didn't ram the gate. The woman went up to the gate of the White House and then she was eventually shot. Yeah, you remember that story? Very bizarre. Well, here we have a story that says, family of woman killed in D.C. calls for Obama paternity test. Mama of Obama love child? Huh. Pastor James David Manning claims the woman gunned down by authorities in D.C., Miriam Carey, was the mama of Obama's love child. Carey's family have demanded an investigation into her death. Pastor Manning and Miriam's sister Valerie Carey, a retired NYPD police sergeant, are also demanding Obama submit to a paternity test. In the video below, Reverend James D. Manning refers to a phone interview he had with Miriam's sister Valerie Carey, who is a retired New York City sergeant, and points out the many oddities about Miriam's death. Here's a number of them. Why did the Capitol Police, who are trained to be temperate, instead shoot to kill an unarmed woman who had a baby in the backseat of her car? There were no guns or bombs threatening. No letters were found in the car. If the police thought Miriam's car was a threatening hazard, why didn't they shoot out the tires? Next, why did police not follow the usual procedures of notifying the next of kin first? Instead, according to Valerie Carey, the police released Miriam's identification to the public before notifying her family. Valerie found out about her sister from a reporter's phone call. Third, when the Carey family traveled to Washington, D.C., they were told that they couldn't see Miriam's body, but they were shown a photo of it instead. Next, to this day, the Carey family has not been given an official notification of Miriam's death or the autopsy report or how many times she was shot. Next, why are black race agitators like Al Sharpton and Charles Rangel silent about Miriam's shooting death when they normally raise a hue and a cry about an alleged police mistreatment of blacks? Sharpton's silence is especially noteworthy because Miriam's sister Valerie Carey is on the executive board of his National Action Network. Did somebody get to Sharpton? Well, we all know Sharpton is a shill. He's a racist, and you know the garbage he puts out into the world. Why did the police intimidate and silence the Carey family attorney Eric Sanders? Why is Miriam being discredited and portrayed as a mentally ill, deranged woman when there is no evidence of such? On the contrary, Miriam was a highly functional, being a dental hygienist. The only medication she was taking was prescriptive med for postpartum depression. And the biggest question of all is, why did Miriam drive to Washington, D.C., specifically the White House? The last question is what prompted Valerie Carey to wonder if the sister 18-month-old daughter is Barack Obama's love child. To answer that question, Valerie Carey and Reverend Manning are demanding a paternity test of Miriam's daughter, and that U.S. Attorney Holder Eric General conduct an investigation into the death of Miriam Carey. Well, we'd like to think that this will get done, that justice will be served, but since we know that we have people of ill repute in the White House administration, it's unfortunate, and we all know what's going to happen there. Nothing. All right, this is called The Speech You Were Never Supposed to See. And it is, well, it says, given the moral and spiritual state of the nation, some have called it the most important speech given in modern history. It was delivered by Jonathan Cahn, the author of the best-selling book The Harbinger, the morning of Barack Obama's second presidential inauguration at the presidential inaugural prayer breakfast. The unofficial gathering, which included members of Congress, government leaders, and Christian ministers, took place just 1 hour before Obama took the oath of the presidency. The address was a prophetic expose of America's fall from God, a revealing of the biblical signs of judgment manifesting in America, and a call to return, says Joseph Farah, producer of the Isaiah 8:10 Judgment, the #1 faith movie in 2010 and 2013 based on Kahn's teachings. The speech came to a point when Kahn addressed his words to Obama. Can you lay your left hand upon his word and then with your right hand enact the laws against it? Can you invoke the name of God to assume the presidency and use the presidency in a way to endorse that which clearly wars against the ways of God you invoke? Can you utter words, so help me God, if you should in any way take part in helping to lead a nation away from God whose helps you to invoke? Those who were present described Kahn's address as electrifying, a prophetic clarion call and nothing short of historic moment. At the speech's end, the gathering erupted into what one observer described as a near riot. Soon after the speech, a recording of it began spreading across the internet like wildfire. At the same time, viewers began noticing that as quickly as it was being posted, it was being taken down. Thousands of viewers began noticing that as they tried to repost it and send it to others, the links to the speech were going dead. Confusion and speculation spread through the social media. WND even received threats for trying to air it. I wasn't surprised by what happened, says Kahn. Whenever God is moving, there always will be resistance, and that resistance will be commensurate to the degree of his moving. A lot more to the article here. I'm not going to continue on. The video itself of this, well, it's got an advertisement here. But let's jump up here. What we got? Okay, let's see how long this video is here. And it shows us, alright, we're not getting it. You can go ahead and click on the link to, there we go. How long is this? 39 minutes in length. So I'm going to leave the video available for you to check it out. I'm simply going to move on to the next story. Okay. So we had ISON. And ISON is still out there. And now, there's something else out there to pay attention to. We know about the fifth density. We've heard about those stories. We've heard the idea that the recalibration of the Mayan calendar puts us at December 16th of this year because there was a miscalculation, apparently, according to some researchers, that we started counting at the wrong date. And by a recalibration of things, we could see that the next opportunity for the ending of the cycle would be on the 16th of December this year. We have the story of ISON as it comes close. It's going to be around 24th to the 26th of December. But now we have this object here. Look at this. That is a big object. This is Earth. This is Mercury. Don't know what that is. Very interesting object caught in NASA stereo, which seems to confirm Carlos Munoz Ferrada's prediction of a giant comet planet called Hercolubus entering our solar system and passing by the Earth and the Sun. Well, if that's the case, that's a big planet. Hercolubus is a hybrid comet planet that has an elliptical orbit with the tail of a comet and a large mass of a planet. Do these images confirm Ferrada's prediction, or is the object something else? Okay, very interesting indeed. This next piece here is Thor News talking about that, because as you recall, in one of his last videos from last week, he was showing Comet ISON coming through, and then behind Comet ISON he showed something else. What is that, he asked. Well, let's take a look and see what maybe he found out. Here we go.
This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents What Have We Found? Tyche, Hercolubus, Nibiru, Nemesis, Tiamat. WTF is that giant planet-looking thing on the set-your-head cameras. Seems like just as the Comet ISON story is dying down, asterisk, we got Planet X, or the Sun's binary companion, showing up again. Now, I want to be quick to point out that those who debunk are serial debunkers have pointed out that this is a lens flare from Venus, and it appears about once a year in the cameras. And then everybody freaks out and loses their minds. It's like, oh my God, Nibiru's coming. Now, where it does seem more proclaimed each year, I'm a little bit skeptical personally, because I'm wondering, all right, dude, this really was a planet star 6 times the size of Jupiter? Wouldn't it have some type of a effect on our solar system? Like, wouldn't the orbits of the solar system be going haywire wild? I mean, I admit, when you look at these photographs and the images, it's extremely freaky deaky, super freaky deaky. And someone has even pointed out that you can almost see a bow shock in the photographs. But I'm still like, hey, dude, shouldn't we be able to kind of see it a little? I mean, every once in a while. I mean, that thing is massive. Giant, giganormous. Even if it's scattered, smothered, and covered in a giant cloud of oxide dust. You know, we should still be able to see it. Well, you know, with everything going on nowadays, who knows, man? But so, on the side of it being a lens flare, or this not being a solar body, one, shouldn't we be seeing a lot of national disasters? Also, I mean, I think we could see it every once in a while. As far as it being real, nothing would surprise me nowadays. And as our good friend Amy Mainzer has pointed out in the future, she loves the star orrery. And so it seems like almost all yellow stars have some type of a red star companion. And the thing imaged in here looks about the same size as Tyche and Hercolubus. And Hercolubus is just really fun to say. Say it, Hercolubus. Hercolubus. Now, the kids may enjoy the Nibiru myths. I prefer the old mythologies. For example, Tyche is the nickname given to a hypothetical gas giant located in the solar system's Oort cloud, first proposed by astrophysicists John Batiste, Patrick Whittam, Daniel Whitmire, and they argued the evidence of Tyche's existence can be seen in a supposed bias in the points of origin from long-period comets. Well, we haven't seen any new long-period comets lately, have we? Oh, hey, wait. Then there's always Nemesis. It's a hypothetical red dwarf star, brown dwarf star if you're colorblind, originally postulated in 1984 to be orbiting the sun at a distance of about 1.5 light years, somewhat beyond the Oort cloud. And it was said to explain the perceived cycle of mass extinctions in the geological record, which seem to occur more often at intervals of 26 million years. Oh, hey, did you know as of 2012, over 1,800 brown dwarfs have been identified, and none of them are inside our solar system? And they have proposed that if there was a red dwarf star or a brown dwarf, the WISE infrared sky survey mission, in its movement verifying parallax measurements, would be expected to find it. And we all know Amy Mainzer and NASA would have told us, hey, yeah, we found it. Everybody freak out. So they haven't told us. So I guess we should feel good. Now, Hercolubus, why does it seem like everything in celestial physics has sexual undertones? Now, Hercolubus, in 1999, V.M. Rabolu wrote in Hercolubus, or the Red Planet, that Barnard's star is actually a planet known to the ancients as Hercolubus, which reportedly came dangerously close to Earth in the past, destroying Atlantis, and was going to come back again. Nancy, leader, is a big fan of his work, though I don't trust her because in like 2004 she told everybody to eat their dogs. And if you want to lose me, tell me to eat dogs, man. You know? This article, which I'll link to you, and it's really good, goes on to say that in Gnosis, this planet is known as Hercolubus. In the Bible, the planet is referred to as Wormwood, while modern astronomers have named it Barnard's Star. Hercolubus is about 600 times the size of Earth. As the orbits of the planets get closer, their gravitational and magnetic fields exert forces on one another. Barnard's Star is about 6 light years from us. And if that isn't crazy enough, about 2 weeks ago, British astronomers reported that they had found the 2 oldest brown dwarfs in our galaxy. And the picture they use in all the articles shows the massive brown dwarf kind of like lurking and hovering over our solar system, which is interesting. Man, professional astronomers sure have an interesting sense of humor. It's kind of sense of humor where like nobody laughs and they think that's funny. Will you guys do me a favor? Will you teach your children to be nice to the geeks and the nerds? Because maybe if everybody would be nice to the scientist kids, when they grow up, they'll have better social interactions with people. Unlike in other walks of life, the galaxy's oldest members move much faster than its younger population, said lead author Dr. David Pinfield. Stars near to the sun are made up of 3 overlapping populations: the thin disk, the thick disk, and the halo. All right, fast-moving brown dwarfs, lens flares, parallax, space ducks, and then there's always blue Kachina and red Kachina. Or then there's always, on this article NASA had, to where Halloween was completely unrelated, they had a giant picture of a giant pumpkin. And everybody knows the pumpkin is the largest star in the universe. And hey, look what I caught. At the bottom of the pumpkin, there's an ad in this astronomy article where it shows a young woman getting a gift of shoes. And at the very bottom it says, powered by service. What is that? Is science trying to say that if women want shoes, they gotta service somebody? I am offended, science. Oh, and they went to Barnard's Star on Star Blazers, which was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. That show was badass. Nothing like having a space battleship and a space girlfriend that can fly a plane. Happy Sunday. We'll stay on top of this. All right, God bless everybody. Okay, so thanks. Hey, you, pretty young lady, come here. Give me a kiss. Why does it seem like everything in celestial physics has sexual undertones?
All right, very good. So, just a thought. You know, we have the story that we're going 5th dimensional, multi-dimensional here, and that the planets that are out there, these rogue planets, are also multi-dimensional or possibly multi-dimensional. So if we're going multi-dimensional and if we're changing in our frequency, then it's quite possible that anything coming in, if it's phasing in and out at a different frequency, and if we're at, if we're not at a 3rd dimensional frequency, things are going to be experienced differently. So I think those are all important things taking place. We have to look at this situation from a multi-dimensional perspective, because we're told that there's a lot of things going on and that there's a lot of changes taking place. So that's just something to consider. All right. Now, the thing, we've all been looking in the sky, or many people have been looking in the sky and seeing this bright object. Many are convinced this is Venus. Many aren't quite so certain. Here's an object or a story in that regards. It says, bright alluring Venus flaunts early evening charm. That brilliant evening beacon hanging in the southwestern sky. In the southwestern skies are neighboring planet Venus. With the unaided eye, you can easily see it at dusk, and it will captivate you in the early evening. Behold its beauty in clear skies Saturday and Sunday nights. You cannot escape its charm, as Venus is negative 4.8 magnitude, according to the Almanac Observer's Handbook by the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. 3 weeks ago on the 1st, Venus was about 49% illuminated from our perspective, and it was about 5.5 light minutes or 61.5 million miles from Earth. Venus had an incredibly respective negative 4.5 magnitude, bright enough that we mortals took notice. Our neighboring planet gets closer. Tonight, for example, Venus is lounging in the constellation Sagittarius will be closer at 4.2 light minutes away. That's 4.6 million miles from Earth. For the period between Thanksgiving and New Year's, it remains an early evening one-planet light show. By the way, that's not a light source, but thanks to the shroud of perpetual sulfuric clouds, it's reflecting sunlight. This effervescent, though sulfuric planet on December 1st reaches about 41 million miles away. From the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada, the magnitude estimate is an astounding negative 4.9, where it would seem like a loitering leftover 4th of July white flare in southwest dusk and evening sky. Venus reaches its greatest illuminated extent on December 6th, according to the Almanac, Astronomical Phenomena of 2013, published by the Nautical Almanac Office of the U.S. Office of Naval Observatory, when the planet will be 37.8 million miles away, or about 3.4 light minutes away. All right, after Venus reaches greatest illuminated, after Venus sets over the weekend, refresh your hot coffee and then return to catch Jupiter ascend the northeastern sky after 8 p.m. Okay, so we could see definitely stuff's going on with Venus. Is that what we're seeing out there? I don't know. But you notice how it's getting closer? And the last point, it said that by the 6th it would be 37.8 million miles away. An interesting thing is that ISON, we're told, when it comes by Earth, is going to be about 40 million miles away. So ISON is going to be about the same distance away as this Mars is. Don't know what that means, just pointing it out because I noticed the miles here. We'll find out together, won't we? We sure will. All right, this piece here I thought was pretty cool. It's a story of a kid who gets a prosthetic hand, but it comes from a 3D printing machine. Check this out. This is pretty cool.
Disney once said that animation can explain whatever the mind of man can conceive. He was talking about cartoons, but advances in technology have taken that basic concept to a whole new dimension. Michelle Miller shows us how the idea of a modern-day inventor became a 3D reality.
Grabbing a backpack is hardly the feat of a superhero, unless you're 12-year-old Leon McCarthy and your hand looks like it's straight out of a science fiction movie.
You've actually become sort of a
cyborg.
There's a cool factor.
Yeah, it's like a special. It's special instead of different.
Leon has been special since birth. While he was still in the womb, restricted blood flow prevented his hand from developing.
I saw his hand sticking up and there were no fingers on it. It was hard for my wife. It was hard for me.
2 years ago, his father, Paul, began the search for an inexpensive, functional prosthetic. What he found was this internet video posted by Ivan Owen, an inventor in Washington State.
I've always had this vision of people being able to build their own prosthetic device at home.
Owen and a collaborator in South Africa designed a hand that could be made by a three-dimensional printer.
It's essentially like a hot glue gun. It's plastic that feeds into it. The printer head gets really hot, it liquefies that plastic, and then layer by layer creates an object.
The design relies on wrist movement. Downward motion creates cable tension that closes the fingers, while a move upward opens them. The assembly instructions were posted for free on the internet, so someone like Paul McCarthy in Marblehead, Massachusetts, could print it. He took the idea to his son.
I thought it was a little crazy. He was like, we can print all these fingers and then like clip them all in, and it was a little too much.
The first time you saw it and when you tried it out,
it was pretty awesome, yeah.
What made it awesome?
I could pick up, say, like a water bottle. Like, say, I could pick up my pencil.
What is it like to see him with this?
Making your kids happy is like the most rewarding thing you can have as a dad, right?
The price tag was also appealing. Many 3D printers sell for about $2,000. Materials are far less expensive.
This thing cost us like $5, $10, you know, whatever. It was nothing.
What would a prosthesis cost you?
$20,000, $30,000.
The cost allows father and son to experiment with newer designs.
When I outgrow a hand, we can easily make a new one.
It's a do-it-yourself solution that was unthinkable before technology made ideas printable.
That's cool.
Yeah. Michelle Miller, CBS News, Marblehead, Massachusetts.
Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. All right, here's a story. It's a good one. Are you a human angel? Is the question is being asked here. Human angels have certain characteristics that make them different from the rest of society. The following is an excerpt from a book, We Are Human Angels. If since childhood you have watched the world and you have not stopped believing, if you have always dreamed of relieving the sorrows of all living beings, if you ever had a special talent to help others, if you have an out-of-the-ordinary sensitivity, if you have overcome difficult trials in your life, if you think that despite everything your life should be lived with joy, if while always trying to give meaning to your suffering you believe that there must be a way to stop yours and others' suffering, if in your heart there is no room for hatred or resentment, if you're always trying to change evil into good and darkness into light, if you always follow your heart even when it seems the hardest thing to do, if you always had a vision of heaven on earth and would like to spread it throughout the world, if you have the ability to read people and know what is hidden within their hearts, if you silently bless everyone you encounter in your life, if you from the very beginning have always felt the sense of not belonging to this world, if you've never been able to relate to yourself or any group of people, you've always had a deep desire to connect with yourself or your soul's family here on earth, if you search for truth is your greatest passion, if you live with honesty even when it hurts, if you believe in the healing power of love, if you still have the same dreams you had when you were a pure-hearted child, if you were born for a greater purpose and you would like to express it, you are a human angel and you are just trying to remember. It's a book called We Are Human Angels. Very interesting, very cool, because there are a lot of angels down here. That's what's helping the planet move. You know, not all the angels are fallen angels. There's a lot of good angels down here helping. Those of us who took assignments. You know who you are. You're just waiting for this thing to kind of get on, aren't you? I understand. Okay. This is a message from the Angeloi of the Elohim. Here we go.
Of the Elohim on Comet ISON, and the New Earth.
November 28, 2013, by Karen Doonan.
The Elohim.
Greetings, beloved ones. We are the Archangeloi of the Elohim, and we come to guide and to support all upon and within planet Earth at this time. A time of vast energetic shift and change, and a shift that is now being harnessed and anchored by all emissaries of light upon and within planet Earth. The timing in the linear context to help all for all is not as it appears upon and within planet Earth. The coding required by a race that has walked in darkness, containment, and suppression for eons is vast, for all are upon and within planet Earth in various human forms, and all human vehicles require to be upgraded and expanded in order for them to harness, anchor and work with the vast light that now shines across and within planet Earth. For in truth all are light in the universe of three. We ask at this time that you detach from the information that is given out by your governments and those who sought to contain and suppress, and that you look within, to the heart space, for many of you can already feel the consciousness of what is termed Comet ISON. An energy that has traveled across many universes in order to reach this moment, a moment of absolute clarity for those who are here to birth the new Earth upon and within planet Earth in truth. Those who are aligned with this consciousness will now move fully into place within the human race. Hidden in plain view for eons, walking, gathering and radiating the codes, the light, and the consciousness fabric that is needed by a race that is now reborn in truth. Do you understand our guidance, beloved ones? Do you understand that which is now unfolding across and within planet Earth? The new consciousness is that which is asked for by those who created the human race, for the human race were a construct, constructed to allow all to traverse the planet and explore her magic. Those who sought to contain and suppress needed to suppress the human race in order to contain and suppress the planet, and this is now being addressed on all levels. For the human race is now born anew, created from the light of truth, and it now begins its birthing process into expansion. For by anchoring the light of truth the fires can burn within, the fires can burn the residue of the old 3D Earth paradigms completely and replace them with the light of truth at cellular level within the human vehicle. We send out further coding of 333-222 and ask that our children in human form open their heart space and align fully with Comet ISON, holding the intention to connect with the consciousness that it is in truth. Many of you may already have had what is termed in a human context contact with this consciousness, for it remembers and will reach out to those who are aligned fully with its consciousness. We ask for all to let go of the linear constructs that are holding the old 3D Earth paradigms in place and understand that this is the reason that you incarnated into a human form upon this planet, for this moment, the seeding of light and expansion upon a planet and within a race that is hosted on said planet. We shine our light brightly around, through, and within each of our children and around, through and within Mother Earth at this time. The magic of the universe of three will now birth around, through, and within each human vehicle. The prophecies once spoken of by the human race and the stories left by those who created the human race now speak in truth. We invite you to join our energies at will. We invite you to join with all at this time of expansion and growth for all justice, and you are in truth. We are the AlecCollier of the Elohim, and we walk in truth among you at this time.
All right, very important. So, again, another confirmation that ISON is more than just a planet. It has a consciousness. It represents something coming to us, a message, if you will, from deep, deep out in space that is here. And not everyone's going to get the message, but those who are paying attention, they pick up, because it is a message that comes to us in various different energetic levels. All right, the angel message for today says, please do not allow insecurities to hold you back. You are magical and we will help. Okay, very important. Life every day throws insecurities our way and fears and doubts, and our job is to overcome those, to learn to turn away from them, to turn to the positive. So that's what we do. Let's do the meditation and let's turn to the positive right now. Take a deep breath and exhale. Go ahead and take another deep breath and exhale again. I want you to imagine that all of your chakras are activated as you're walking along the path of life. I want you to see your root chakra red, drawing the energy from the earth. And see the energy rising up to the chakra above it, orange colored. And from there to the chakra above it, yellow. To there, the chakra above it, green at the heart. And the energy coming down from the crown chakra starts off at violet as it enters the crown chakra, moving down, turning to indigo as it goes to the third eye, down further to the throat where it's blue and it meets in the heart with all the other energy as green. And there the heart is the meeting space, the connecting point of this energy as it comes from the crown chakra and the root chakra meeting together in the heart. We imagine the color green, and we just imagine our body being filled with this green colored light. This light of purification, this light of love. We imagine it going through our body and cleansing out all the doubts and the fears that exist. We imagine it inspiring those places within us that are looking for inspiration. And as this light of love makes its way through all the cells in our body, we feel a great change taking place in our life as residual bits of doubts and fears are cleansed away. And let's imagine sending this love out into the world for others to experience and to share as well. Let's imagine sending it out into our neighborhoods, around the city where we live. Expand this love out further around the state and to the entire country, and then across the seas to all the other countries around the world. Imagine this love going and inspiring greatness in all individuals that it touches. Imagine the doubts and the fears around the planet melting away. And let's just see the planet glowing brightly with love. And let's just hold that image in our mind's eye as we go forth today, imagining the planet glowing bright in love. And as our subconscious continues on that journey, let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Go ahead and take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. That's it. That is it for today, my friends. Thank you very much for being here. Have a great day. There's lots of things going on this month, as you have just heard, and lots of stories out there. So let's just keep focusing on the positive, because it seems that there's a lot of positive things that could go on this month. A lot of change could possibly go on if these stories that we're hearing are true. So let's just keep focused on love and the positive change that is ahead of us, because this seems to be the end of a long journey that we've been on for quite some time. So let's just keep going. It's not a time to stop. It's time to keep on going. I'll be back tomorrow with more news and information. Have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.